pole position today we have Spooky Lukey starting on the Racing Softs. He's 7th in the table at the moment on 12 points, has only made appearances in rounds 4 and 5 so far this season with improving results across those 2 rounds, and puts it on pole again today with a good qualifying performance. Let's see how he gets away in the Lexus today. In 2nd place today we have Comrade Mitsos starting on the Racing Super Softs. He's 9th in the table at the moment on 7 points, 2 6th place finishes so far, his best results in the 3 rounds he's appeared in this season. A good quality today sees him start on the front row. Let's see how he gets on. In 3rd place today we have J Rabbit starting on the Racing Softs, 14th in the table at the moment with just 1 point, as he made his first appearance in the season last round, finishing just outside the top 8. Another fast addition to the driver's room, starting in tier 3, so we see how he gets on as he finds his feet. In 4th place today we have Revs starting on the Racing Softs, joint 15th at the foot of the table at the moment, having not broken into the top 8 this season so far. But a good qualifying performance sees him starting from 4th today. We'll see how he gets on. In 5th place today we have Stephen starting on the Racing Super Softs, 2nd place in the table at the moment on 39 points. He's had a very strong season so far, already picking up a win and a couple of podiums along the way, setting himself up to be in a good position for promotion this year. We'll see how he gets on from 5th today. In 6th place today we have Martin B starting on the Racing Super Softs. He's joint 2nd in the table with Stephen on 39 points. A string of podiums topped off with a win last round, seeing Martin surge up the table after missing the opening round of the season. See if he can trouble Jagernat for the top spot. In 7th place today we have Jagernat starting on the Racing Super Softs. He's our tier 3 championship leader at the moment with 48 points, has a 9-point gap over Stephen and Martin B in 2nd place at the moment, with 2 wins registered so far. Jagernat in a really good position for the championship. Starting from the midfield today, we'll see how he gets on. In 8th place today we have Ricky starting on the Racing Softs, 12th in the table at the moment on 3 points, just a handful of points registered so far this season, as he finds himself in a very difficult tier 3, as we've got quite a few new faces who swiftly move their way up to tier 1 I think. Let's see how he gets on from 8th place today. In 9th place today we have Richie starting on the Racing Softs. He's 10th in the table at the moment with 4 points. Similar story for Ricky, he's a returning driver's room veteran, finds himself in a very tough tier 3. Scored points in the opening 3 rounds. Can he get back amongst the point scoring positions today? In 10th place today we have Flapjack starting on the Racing Super Softs. He's 6th in the table at the moment on 16 points. A steady season so far for Flapjack. He has scored points in every round, but yet to get himself up on the podium, which he's more than capable of, but does find himself 21 points off the promotion places at the moment. So how he gets on from 10th today. In 11th place today we have Mr Tom Nixon starting on the Racing Super Softs. He's 13th in the table at the moment on 2 points. Only appeared in 3 races so far this season. Finds himself starting just outside the top 10 today. Good consistent race from anyone at the back of the pack. Should see themselves be in a position to pick up some points at the later stages of this race. In 12th place today we have Delta Veteran starting on the Racing Softs, joint 15th at the foot of the table at the moment. Again, another driver I feel has been slightly swamped with the new additions that have come into tier 3 this season, but let's see what he can do today starting from 12th. In 13th place today we have Captain O'Reilly starting on the Racing Softs. He's 10th in the table at the moment with 4 points. First run out in the Group 2 category today, having missed the opening round of the season. His best result coming in round 3, finishing just outside the top 5. Got a lot to do from 13th today. In 14th place today we have Broody starting on the Racing Super Softs. He's 8th in the table at the moment on 9 points, having scored a couple of top 5 finishes so far this season. Has got 2 no point scoring rounds registered already this season, so can't really afford to drop any points. Has a lot to do starting from 14th today. In 15th place today we have Big Shadow starting on the Racing Softs. Joint 15th at the foot of the table with a few other drivers this season. Back again, having missed the last 2 rounds, finds himself at the back of this Le Mans grid with potentially a very tough race ahead, but we see what he can do from the back. But that was our grid walk for Le Mans. Let's get underway. So here we are then, Drivers Room Endurance Championship, round 6 of season 3, tier 3. About to get underway at Le Mans. Spooky Lukey on poles. Got to look out for the very fast starting Nissan, the old school Nissan GTRs, the 08 ones. They do get a very good launch, and the Lexus box down, and that is Stephen and Jagannat ploughing through from 5th and 7th on the grid up to 1st and 2nd respectively. Those Nissan GTRs are very, very quick off the line. So Spooky Lukey down to 3rd place. There's always a little bit of a punt there. I think Ricky just catching the back end of Martin there, and Martin losing the back end. He's got rear damage, so I don't know if he got caught out by the damage there, but lights up the rear tyres and puts it into the wall early on. We've got Delta Veteran up into up to 5th place from, where was he? 12th on the grid. Really good start from Delta Veteran. Staying out of trouble, keeping it clean as we go into the straight for the first time. Stephen up in the lead, Jagannat in 2nd, Spooky Lukey in 3rd, J Rabbit in 4th, Delta Veteran in 5th. Got Comrade Mitsos in 6th, so he's had a poor start. Did start 2nd on the grid. A little bit of door rubbing there between Captain O'Reilly and Flapjack as they go down the straight for the first time. Richie in 9th place. You've got Broody in 10th, Ricky in 11th, Mr. Tom Nixon in 12th. Shadow in 13th and Martin in 14th, and I think we've had a disconnection from Revs at the back as well, so Revs having started in 4th place finds himself DC'd from the race, down to 14 runners now, but we'll keep an eye on the front 4 for a moment as we see. I say that, and you've got all sorts of action kicking off at the back as they nearly go 5 wide into the second heavy braking zone. And Delta Veteran gets through nice and cleanly there. So I think just got a bit of a poor exit as Comrade Mitsos, yeah, having a bit of a weave about on the way out of the chicane there. But back to the lead of the race, but Jagannat's closing the gap on Stephen now as they come into the braking zone and Mulsane for the first time. And Stephen running a little bit wide there. Yeah, he has lost a bit of momentum. This could give Jagannat a run and gets himself into the lead of the race. So just a small mistake there from Stephen in the exit of Mulsane. That's just enough to give Jagannat a look on the exit. Gets the power down nicely, takes the lead of the race. So Stephen's slotting into 2nd place now. Spooky still doing enough to hold on to that third position ahead of J Rabbit. Captain O'Reilly just completely bins it, and I think someone else has followed him off in the background there as well. So Broody does the same thing. So both those guys completely missing their braking points there on the opening lap. This Captain O'Reilly was running in 5th, and that is J Rabbit moving up to 2nd place. Stephen's had another incident somewhere, he's lost a bit of time as J Rabbit moves past Spooky Lukey and Stephen, and it looks like Stephen's fighting back straight away. Get a little bit of contact there, Lukey holding on well to 3rd place again, but this is allowing Jagannat to disappear up the road a little bit. So J Rabbit in 2nd place now. The top 4 have swapped positions quite a bit on this opening lap. It looks like Spooky Lukey's getting himself in a position to have a little nibble back. Gets up inside of this fast chicane as both drivers giving each other enough room there. So a lot of respect shown. That could have gone pretty badly for both of them, but it's got Spooky Lukey back up to 2nd place now. Stephen, J Rabbit in 3rd, Stephen in 4th. Banging the slipstream, J Rabbit up ahead. So you got Richie in 5th place now, ahead of this other little battle further behind. There's Flapjack in 6th as Mitsos has a little bit of a look. Ooh, quite a bit of lag spike there, and Flapjack picking up a 3-second penalty for something. Ricky in 8th place now, so running well. So I think Ricky was 12th after his incident with Martin, so running well in 8th place now. Delta in 9th place, just pace steadying out now, and Mr. Tom Nixon in 10th, Broody in 11th, Martin up into 12th and all over the back of Broody at the moment. Let's see if he makes a little half-second penalty there. It's gets the slipstream, gets the slingshot. Imagine he's more than a car length ahead now, and gets the move done on Broody and moves himself up into 11th. So 5 minutes less race gone now. I say that though, but Broody really late on the brakes there. I think Martin B just ditching his penalty there as well, maybe. So just a maybe didn't want to get the overtake done with the penalty overhanging him, but it's put him under pressure with Captain O'Reilly now. And Big Shadow running in 14th place at the moment. But yeah, jacking that out in the lead of the race. Got a reasonably good gap to Spooky Lukey at the moment. So yes, Lukey showing a lot of pace today. So he obviously stuck it on pole and defending well against J Rabbit again. So he did spend the large portion of the first lap. Rabbit in his slipstreams. Rabbit a little bit untidy on the exit there by the looks of it. Managed to keep the power down. Top 4. It looks like Comrade Mitsos is, as well as moving himself up into 5th place, which we've missed, might well be closing the gap up to Stephen up ahead. Richie in 6th, just ahead of Flapjack in 7th. Mickey in 8th. Delta Veteran 9th. Tom in 10th. I think we've lost. It's Captain O'Reilly under pressure from Martin B. So Martin B looking to make this place up. Oh, so no, hang on, no, Captain O'Reilly was behind Martin B, wasn't he? And so he's got the overtake done there somewhere. Oh, has he gone off? I think he's done that on the first lap as well, didn't he? The same corner, Captain O'Reilly misses the braking point again. Puts it straight into the barrier, and I think that may have well been a quit as well. So down to 30. That will be very popular today as Big Shadow introduces himself to the barriers there as well, and gets himself back on the track. He might be up to a level place now, and yeah, next man down the road will be Delta Veteran. Bit of a gap to him, but we'll see how that closes over the next few laps. Well, we're now 7 minutes gone. Jaganat in the lead of the race, 3 minute 42. It's keeping an eye on his lap times now, but you can see, as I say, Spooky Lukey more than staying with him, just over a second quicker on that last lap. And J Rabbit falling back a little bit off the back of Lukey, and I think he might well have done enough just to break the toe as they come onto the straights. Start of lap 3, and it also looks like he might well be in a position to get a tow from jagging it up front as well. So yeah, Spooky Lukey looking very lively today. We'll come back to that in a second. I think Stephen is a little bit closer to Rabbit than Lukey is to jagging it. Comrade Mitsos managed to put a little bit of a gap to Richie behind, but has, as I was saying, has managed to close that gap to Stephen up ahead to the point where he's now getting a tow. And Rabbit's going to be under a lot of pressure now. Looks like Mitsos has had an untidy chicane in the background there as he's dropped off the back a little bit. We'll go on board with Stephen. Coming up to the second heavy braking point on the straights. Just moves out to the left, so Rabbit not really defending that. Not much point at this stage of the race, I guess. Probably benefit from just slingshotting out of each other's slipstream. And I don't want to fall too far behind the battle for first and second, but yeah, Lukey has really closed that gap up to Jaganat up ahead now. Obviously Jaganat not getting any benefit of a slipstream. It looks like Rabbit has almost immediately taken that place back. Stephen doing just enough there to retain third place, but has sort of compromised the pair of them, and there's someone running wide in the background. I think Ricky J just having a minor off there, or it might have been Flapjack even. But yeah, Flapjack falling right back now as Mr. Tom should have a good run on him here. Go for another on-board shot. So just okay, just chooses to ease off the throttle there, ditch a bit of the penalty. So I think Mr. Tom just choosing to benefit from a bit of slipstream at this stage of the race and get a bit of fuel saving done as well. As both these guys goes for now. So no contact from anyone, and I think we have missed an overtake as J Rabbit is down to 5th place. What's happened there? Let's take a look back. So shortly after we left this little battle with Stephen doing enough to retain 3rd place out of Mulsanne, did compromise Rabbit's exit a little bit as he's under a lot of pressure from Mitsos, and looks like Conrad Mitsos not quite slotted himself up as Rabbit. Oh no, he has. I don't know, Rabbit just slightly yielded there, but oh, this corner is claimed a lot of victims already, and I don't know the name of it. I'm not familiar with the corner names at this track, to be honest. Now you've got Dunlop Curve at the start, the Porsche Curves, and Mulsanne. That's about it. And that corner. But yeah, J Rabbit's hazards on now, so I don't know if he's got an issue at the moment, but he's fallen right back off of 4th place Mitsos, who's... Is that a crash or connection issues? No, that is a crash. Mitsos going extremely well, and that is quite a big incident. He's lost a lot of time there out on the sand trap, dropping to 7th place. He's got some fast cars coming through now as well. Look at the speed difference of that part of the track. This is the Porsche curves we're going through now, so yeah, not a good place to be a slow recovering car. So yeah, very bad place to have an off as well. It's extremely fast part of the track, like so many places of Le Mans. But Conrad Mitsos down to 8th place. Real shame there. He was running very well, having moved himself up into 4th place. But yeah, this endurance championship rewards consistency, absolutely punishes any incidents like that. But 11 minutes now, back to the lead of the race. We'll have a quick run through the grid. Jaganat in 1st place, Spooky Lukey in 2nd, Stephen in 3rd place, bit of clean air front and back now. J Rabbit recovering in 4th place now as he seems to got himself back up to speed, pulled a little bit of a gap to Ricky. I don't think we've had any pit stops. I'll check the tyre wear as we go through. We've got Ricky up into 5th place now, Richie in 6th place. These guys not stopped yet. Mr. Tom in 7th, Conrad Mitsos in 8th, Flapjack in 9th, Martin B in 10th. So no, don't think we've had any pit stops yet. Delta Veteran in 11th, Rudy in 12th, doing a bit of wall riding there, and Big Shadow in 13th, having another incident in the Group 2 NSX. Probably I found one of the harder Group 2s to control. It was one of our first pitters as well, so Big Shadow in from the back of the pack. And as we skip a few minutes forward, Jaganat's still in the lead of the race, and still under a lot of pressure from Spooky Lukey behind. 16.5 minutes of this hour-long endurance championship already gone. And I think this is as close as Lukey has ever been. Makes his intentions clear early on, moves out the slipstream, but just hasn't got the speed just yet. Let's go to the outballs shot, and this could be Lukey back up into the lead of the race. Side by side now, 3 millimetres between them there as they give each other enough room. That's very good driving from the pair of them there. So Spooky Lukey back up into 1st place, Jaganat down to 2nd place. Stephen running in 3rd still. J Rabbit in 4th, Ricky in 5th. Conrad Mitsos back up into 6th place now. Tom Nixon in 7th, Flapjack in 8th, Delta Veteran in 9th, Martin B in 10th, has made a pit stop. As you see, he's out on fresh super softs now. See if we can get a bit of an undercut done. Big shadow in 11, so down to 11 runners. So we've had a few, couple of disconnections and a couple of big incidents where people have crashed out. But, yeah, it's still all to play for. And we'll see what the... So that is Jaggernaut picking from second place. Spooky Luke going round again. Stephen not pitting yet. J Rabbit's not pitted. Ricky's going again. There was someone behind Ricky pitting by the looks of it. So this will be interesting. Ricky moving himself up into 4th place now. So obviously none of the top 4 having pitted. Comes out just ahead of Jaggernaut. So Jaggernaut pitting from 2nd place, rejoins the race in 5th. Oh, Ricky has a big incident up front. Oh, it's a real shame there. Could have really made this first stint work for him. Had good track position and could find himself under pressure from Comrade Mitsos really soon. Now he's out on the fresh racing super softs and looking very quick when he is putting his laps together. Martin B up to 7th place now, so that undercut working really well. Just needs to maintain his tyres and make this stint last as long as possible. But see what he can do from 7th now. Mr. Tom Nixon rejoins in 8th place. Flapjack in 9th. So everyone pitting now. Delta Veteran in 10th. Big Shadow in 11th. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on Spooky Lukey's lap times as well. So just come up to the 20-minute mark now. See what sort of, imagine he's going to go for a 2-stopper from here, I'd imagine. Just passing the 20-minute mark, 1/3 of the way through the race. In a good position so far. Stephen in 2nd place now, so we're just going to see what these top 3 guys now can do on the warm rubber compared to the likes of Jaggernaut, Comrade Mitsos and Martin B behind. And just coming towards the end of lap 6 now, with the race leader Spooky Lukey, I imagine would peel off into the pits, but no, goes again. So obviously still feels like he can get a bit of performance out of that set of tyres. Stephen also choosing to go again on the super soft. So Stephen doing really well with the tyre wear today. J Rabbit does pit from 3rd. This should promote Jaggernaut back up as long as he's had a good outlap. He should move himself back up to 3rd place, but we shall see. And see where he is compared to Spooky Lukey and Stephen. That's 3 minute 37 from Jaggernaut, 3 minute 39, and yeah, 3 minute 39. So only 2 seconds gained from Jaggernaut on the fresh rubber. Comrade Mitsos up into 4th place, and J Rabbit rejoins the race in 5th. Martin up to 6th now, so I think we've had I've got Ricky in the pits. So yeah, Ricky, one of the last guys. I think he's just got the top 2 runners, the only guys not to have pitted yet. But Ricky rejoining the race in 8th place now, fresh rubber. See if we can have a clean, tidy stint. So I think so he's in the point scoring position at the moment. See if he can make a few more places up. And a very quick driver in Flapjack behind very soon. So just coming up towards the end of lap 8 now. Spooky Lukey. You don't see it often in the Endurance Championship, but Lukey and Stephen on course for a 1-stopper today. So just coming up to the half-an hour mark now, just over a minute to go. And we'll see if he peels off into the pits this time around. Or manages to squeeze another lap, but yeah, Spooky Lukey goes again. So definitely setting himself up for one stopper. This will be a superb result if he can make this work. Stephen does pull off into the pits, and Jaggernaut will be coming round in third place. 6% fuel in Stephen's car as well, so not only good tyre wear and pace from Lukey, but good fuel management as well. Conrad Mitsos pitting from 4th place as well. Jaggernaut coming through second, and Spooky Lukey already out on track because he... So it's not Lukey I'm looking for, is it? It's Stephen. So Jaggernaut up to second, J Rabbit in third. So yeah, really long stop from Stephen. He did pit with 6% of fuel. Camera's just refusing to pick him up. There we go. So rejoins the race in 4th place after that really long first stint. So we've got J Rabbit up ahead, who obviously does have to stop again. Stephen taking on almost a full tank of full tank of fuel as well. See if he can make this last until the end, or chooses to abuse the tyres a little bit more and make another stop. But yeah, really good race from Luke. He's just under a quarter of a tank of fuel left. So he's done a really good job on the fuel. So Jaggernaut in second place. A little bit further back, I think we've missed an overtake between Flapjack and Martin B. Martin B out on the fresh rubber, but might have been caught out with cold tyres on the outlap as Flapjack moves himself up into 8th place. Martin B down to 9th now. Imagine he's going to have to make one more stop. Same as Flapjack up ahead as well, so legit race for track position at the moment between these two. A bit further back down the road, Delta Veteran running in 10th, Big Shadow still running in 11th. Fighter back, and that is the race leader finally pitting. 14% of fuel, and yeah, set himself up for quite a good end to the race. So Jaggernaut coming through should take first place, but as I say, does have to pit again. J Rabbit in second. See if Lukey gets out ahead of Rabbit or not. Nope, hasn't managed to. So it's a long puff, and that's sound like he's just coming out of the pits there. Yeah, it's Spooky Lukey rejoining the race in third place. Definitely good until the end, if that first stint was anything to go by. Stephen in 4th place. So yeah, Lukey doing a really good job there. He's got reasonably good gap back to Stephen now, and has a lap in hand on tyre life as well. So it's all down to Jaggernaut now, see what he can do out in the lead of the race. So it seems to be a really long pit stop here. So this could shape up to be a very interesting end to this hour-long endurance. And a bit further back, I think Ricky's had an incident somewhere, as he was running in 6th, I believe. Yeah, under pressure from Flapjack now. So yeah, falling right back. It's a shame really. This is 8th place, the final point scoring position. And he finds himself under a lot of pressure from Flapjack. His tyres are in a slightly worse condition at the moment though, so Ricky should be able to do enough to fend off any moves from Flapjack behind. Promoted Comrade Mitsos up into 6th place. It's Mr. Tom Nixon in 5th, not that far ahead. Mitsos just picking up the slipstream now. Let's have a quick jump on board there, as it looks like he's got a reasonable bit more speed. Come up to Mulsanne, see how they are on the brakes. Oh, thank God for ghosting. That should have been Mr. Tom punted into the shadow realm there. But ghosting coming in and saving the day for both of them, really. And they carry on in 5th and 6th for the moment. Just noted it admits us out on the fresh super softs as well. So I should have a bit more pace at this stage of the race. And Mr. Tom up ahead. So good race from Tom Nixon so far. He'll have quite a lengthy pit stop to come, maybe. Oh, as he loses the back end there. So rear tyres. Oh, that may well have been a bit of contact from Mitsos then. You see Mitsos yielding that position straight away. And this has allowed Martin B to catch up the pair of them. This could be an easy 2 positions gained, as these 2 drivers are squabbling. But yeah, it just looked like Mr. Tom lighting the back end up there, and Mitsos making the move around the outside of the Porsche curves. It's that a very difficult place to be overtaken. Martin B just slotting in behind for the moment, waiting for the right opportunity. So this has freed up Comrade Mitsos to make the most of this fresh super soft tyres he has on at the moment. I imagine Martin B will want to get the job done on Mr. Tom Nixon as soon as he can. So, 4:48. He's losing around 8 seconds on that last lap with his tussle with Mitsos up ahead. Just have a look at the front of the race again. It's Jagannac coming up to the midway point of lap 11. He's going to have to pick the end of this lap that fuel level. So we'll come back to that when he does, and we'll see where he feeds out into things in regards to Spooky Lukey in 3rd place. J Rabbit looking good at the moment. He can go for a few more laps, and we'll have a shorter pit stop for his next pit. I think he has a reasonable bit of fuel on board at the moment. Spooky Lukey already closing the gap up to J Rabbit up ahead. Barely any tyre wear on that Lexus at the moment as well. And was Mitsos not running in front of these 2? Oh, I get confused. So we've got Martin B up to 5th place, got the job done on Mr. Tom Nixon. I'm sure Comrade Mitsos was in front of these 2 a minute ago. And now running in 7th, Mr. Tom Nixon in 6th, and Martin B in 5th, just going purple there on lap 11. So we're coming up to the 40-minute mark now. But yeah, I think Mr. Comrade Mitsos having a bit of an incident somewhere, and could be under pressure from Ricky J, who's done a good job to open up a bit of a gap to Flapjack. Most of these drivers will be stopping again anyway, so just over a 1/3 of the race to go now. It's Jagannac just coming up to the back of Big Shadow. So I imagine he will peel off into the pits at the end of this lap, as his fuel practically zero. Imagine that would be 1 or 2% when he finally gets into the pits. So Jagannath in the pits at the end of lap 11, and J Rabbit should come through to take the lead of this race, but again does have to pit himself. He is setting himself up for a very quick final stint. So yeah, Jagannath 1% of fuel there on the graphic, but this is practically the fight for the lead, I would say now. Spooky Lukey coming through, moves himself up into second place. Stephen, the next man down the road. Was that Jagannath coming out the pits? Nice big shadow back marker up ahead. So Stephen through up into third place. So yeah, really long pit stop here at Le Mans, and Jagannath out in fourth. Stephen does have to be careful with tyre and fuel wear to the end of the race though. So Jagannath in a position he can really start to put the pressure on Stephen up ahead. Might be up to 5th place now, just over under 20 minutes to go. I'd say he may have to stop again. Just over a quarter of a tank of fuel left. Comrade Mitsos back up into 6th place after a couple of guys have stopped. So Ricky going again, and Flapjack pitting behind, coming out in 9th place. So Flapjack gets a really good outlap here. He could very well get the jump on Ricky. And Mr. Tom also, what's the gap between Mr. Tom and Ricky at the moment? So Ricky's coming on a straight there, and so yeah, Ricky could fall back to 9th if he isn't careful. I think, yeah, he'll be safe from Delta Veteran in 10th. Yeah, should be interesting, but the leader of the race now is J Rabbit. That tyre life coming to an end. Has to pit again anyway, so he may as well come on and jump onto a fresh set of super softs, and his car will be pretty light with very good tyres until the end of the race. You already see the gap. Lukey's closed up behind 3 minute 36 on his last lap, setting a personal best. Very strong turn of pace today from Lukey. Stephen still in 3rd place, so he's got to be looking to get to the end now and keep retain track position. So obviously got to keep an eye on the delta. See if Jagannath starts closing the gap. Might be in 5th place, and so we'll probably have to stop again. Be interested to see where he feeds out into things. Comrade Mitsos looks good for fuel, not so good for tyres until the end. Again, Ricky does have to pit again in a battle with Mr. Tom and Flapjack behind at the moment. So again, we'll see where Ricky feeds back into things when he pits. And we'll also see where J Rabbit feeds back into things when he pits, which could very well be the end of this lap. Lukey will be all over his gearbox at the moment. Yeah, he does peel off into the pits at the end of lap 12. So Lukey coming through to retain the lead of the race, or reclaim the lead of the race. So Rabbit in the pits. Stephen coming through the final chicane, hitting 3 minute 40s. Yep, Stephen doing enough to move himself back up into 2nd place, and Jagannath up in the 3rd just about, as J Rabbit rejoins in 4th place right behind Jagannath. Might be choosing to go again. So Ricky J pitting now. We'll see where he feeds out in relation to Mr. Tom Nixon and Flapjack a bit further back. Mr. Tom Nixon just crossing, and that sounds like Ricky J just firing up the engine, coming out of the pit entry now, pit exit should I say. He's not quite up to speed yet, and Mr. Tom Nixon tyres up to temperature, gets the job done. Nice clean move there. Oh yeah, Mr. Tom Nixon up into 7th place, Ricky in 8th, Flapjack not quite doing enough on his out lap to close the gap to Ricky up ahead, so still in 9th for the time being. Delta 10th, Big Shadow in 11th, just getting out of the way of Comrade Mitsos there. So just rejoining the action a little bit further on. See Stevens managed to open up a fair gap to Comrade Mitsos, really struggling on the worn tyres, and just puts a wheel on the dirt there. Oh, spears straight into the wall. Heavy engine damage and a 5-second penalty to boot. And Mitsos says thank you very much, I'll come through and take 4th place, and definitely in a position now where he's going to want to stay out and keep that track position. And this should allow Martin B to close that gap up, as Stephen's got a bit of engine damage to contend with down the straight. 130 mile an hour, topping out at 130 there. As you see Martin B coming through, or coming up to him now, touching 180. So that engine damage will dissipate, as it has done now, but that has cost Stephen a huge chunk of time, and will very much find himself under pressure from Martin B, unless he can pick up the pace again, find a bit of consistency to close the race out with. Talking of consistency, this man out front, Spooky Luke, he's been pretty untouchable today. I don't think anyone's got the pace to match him. And as I say, you don't really see a one-stop strategy that often in these hour-long endurance races, but definitely made it work today. Very, very convincing drive, without dropping the commentator's curse too much. But yeah, 5 minutes left to go now. Lukey looking in a very, very good position. J Rabbit in 2nd place, clean air front and back, looks like he's done more than enough to fight off Jaggernaut behind. He's got a reasonably good gap back to 3rd place Jaggernaut. Again, good gap back to Comrade Mitsos in 4th place. Stephen back up to speed in 5th now. And Martin can see that 5th place up ahead, see if that gives him an extra gear. Mr. Tom Nixon still running very consistently in 7th place, as is Ricky J now, still setting his personal best lap times as the car gets lighter. Yeah, Flapjack no answer for Ricky up front. Delta Veteran in 10th, hanging in there. He's got it down to the 3-minute 44s, 3-minute 39 at one point, but yeah, very difficult track to get consistent lap times round. It's a Big Shadow having all sorts of fun out in the gravel trap at the moment. So he goes for another excursion. Spooky Lukey out in the lead of this race. And also, just noticed Comrade Mitsos diving into the pits with 4.5 minutes left. So obviously had enough of those tyres, might have been tight on fuel as well. So a tyre change and a quick splash and dash for Mitsos. But as I say, it's a very, very long pit stop here. Stephen did lose a massive chunk of time though, but not enough for Mitsos to make a pit stop and come back out in 4th place. So rejoins the race in 5th, just ahead, critically ahead of Martin B though. Martin B running with 3.5 seconds of penalty at the moment, as he's probably trying to extract every bit of time from the track. So we'll see, just over 3 minutes left to go now. Stephen's still got 4.5 seconds of penalty to shift as well. Be a real shame if he loses it, but obviously picked up another 1.5 seconds running wide out of that corner onto the straights, but that could cost him massively. So I think Jaganat's close enough. Comrade Mitsos is almost in his slipstream already, as is Martin B. So this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th could get very, very close. I think all these guys will get one more lap after this. Yeah, Comrade Mitsos out on that fresh rubber. Will prove to be a good decision if he does make this place up. I'm not too sure if he did take any fuel on that last pit stop, but he's going to be one of the quickest cars out on track at the moment with that fuel load and that tyre life. Pretty good tyre wear from Stephen. Shouldn't be much in it, but Mitsos with that toe, got to be looking to take that 4th place back. And Comrade Mitsos, once he irons out his mistakes, he's going to be a very, very formidable driver in the driver's room. Incredible 1 lap pace. Very, very good race pace as well, just prone to the odd incident. Let's say once he irons out some silly mistakes, I'm sure he will move through the tiers. As I say, most of the got nearly probably half the grid in tier 3 at the moment would be pretty comfortable in tier 1. As our championship rules, all newcomers have to start in tier 3 and work their way up with seasonal promotions. So obviously Spooky Lukey out on his last lap of the race. 40 seconds of this hour-long race to go, and I'll tell you what, Stephen has found a bit of pace from somewhere. He's opened a decent gap up to Mitsos here. He's almost broken that toe. The 4th, 5th and 6th retain their positions. Let's see who our first official finish will be. And Mr. Tom Nixon is down to 8th place. Ricky J making up a place on the 2nd to last lap. I don't think he's going to cross the line. Yeah, we'll get another lap in, and Mr. Tom Nixon will as well, so these two guys get to battle it out for another lap. Yeah, Mr. Tom Nixon, I think, made a mistake somewhere. He was running in 7th. Ricky up into 7th place now. The battle was for 4th, 5th and 6th. I think Stephen's done enough. He's broke the toe on the straights, but still has 5.7 seconds of penalty to ditch. So it will be a shame, because 5 seconds of those penalties seem to come when he speared the barrier, which is obviously a performance enhancing thing to do that's worth a 5-second penalty. But there you go, as he goes purple as well, so absolutely nailing it at the moment. We will come back to that fight before they finish, but just give the leader of the race a bit of airtime again, Spooky Lukey. Outstanding job, start or finish, because did get swamped at the start, got done by the 2 older Nissan GTRs off the line. Really good start from them, and settled into 3rd place. Dealt with a lot of pressure from J Rabbit early on in the race and weathered that well, and has made the one-stop strategy work very, very well. It's comfortably been below the 3 minute 40 mark and consistently so, apart from the last lap. But the final lap of the race now, very good job indeed. J Rabbit doing enough to establish second place quite comfortably in the end. So getting critical on fuel now as well. Looks like Jaganat's had to fuel save quite a bit for this final stint also, but looks like another strong podium finish from Jaganat. 30 seconds to go, and yeah, Stephen's still doing enough to fight off the charge of Mitsos, but I think he is going to lose out. He's going purple as well still, so the fastest lap of the race still up for grabs by the looks of it. Not too sure who's actually got that at the moment, but anyway, race winner of round 6, season 3, tier 3, going through the final chicane now. Oh no, we're not. Going through the final chicane now. Spooky Lukey, congratulations. So good, solid win there. Really opens up the championship some more in tier 3. J Rabbit's come home in second place. It's a good drive from him also. And Jaganat in third, championship leader, picks up another podium and again improves his result from last round. So yeah, definitely. Oh, as Comrade Mitsos is nearly bumper to bumper with Stephen coming around the final chicane and say we'll lose out because of the penalty. And is that Mitsos? Is Mitsos ditching a penalty as well? But yeah, does cross the line in 4th. Stephen in 5th, Martin B in 6th. Good recovery race in the end from Martin after having a big incident at the start. Ricky in 7th, Mr. Tom in 8th, Flapjack 9th, Delta in 10th, and Big Shadow in 11th. That was the Drivers' Room Endurance Championship, round 6, season 3, tier 3. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.